Soft men don't survive. They don't last. They don't thrive. They don't win. Because this world doesn't care about how gentle your intentions are. It only respects strength. It only listens to force. It only moves for men who demand it. Soft men stay quiet when they should speak. They step back when they should step forward. They apologize for being men. They shrink to be accepted. They let comfort dictate their choices. And in doing so, they erase themselves from the battlefield of life. Softness is celebrated by the weak. They tell you to be more sensitive, to be more open, to lower your guard, to sit with your emotions instead of using them as fuel. And the moment you listen, you lose your edge. You lose your fire. You lose the very thing that makes you a weapon. Because when it all collapses, when war comes, when the pressure hits, nobody calls the soft man. Nobody follows the man who folds. Nobody trusts the one who cries when it's time to act. They look for the savage, the one who's ready to suffer, the one who trained for this while others made excuses, the one who stands when everyone else hides. You were not made to be soft. You were not built to be harmless. You were built to dominate your weakness, to sharpen your body, to command your mind, to lead with force when others hesitate. Soft men fantasize. Hard men execute. Soft men talk about potential. Hard men turn pain into legacy. Soft men look for shortcuts. Hard men take the long way and build endurance. Soft men complain about the grind. Hard men become it. The reason you're stuck is because you've been living soft. Waking up late, eating like trash, scrolling for dopamine hits, skipping the gym, avoiding hard conversations, waiting for someone else to fix you. You call it rest, but it's just weakness in disguise. You've let softness into your life like it's a reward, but softness is rot. It spreads. It infects your focus. It clouds your discipline. It steals your drive. And once it settles in, you forget what it felt like to be sharp. You start making excuses for everything. You justify laziness. You romanticize burnout. You glorify sensitivity while your power decays. And then you wonder why no one takes you seriously. Because soft men don't get respected. They get managed. They get tolerated. They get left behind. They talk about feelings while strong men build empires. They beg for comfort while killers hunt. You want peace? Then you better prepare for war. You want freedom? Then earn it through self-discipline. You want to lead? Then suffer in silence until the world has no choice but to follow. There is no strength in softness. There is no honor in mediocrity. There is no legacy in fear. Softness won't keep you alive. It won't feed your family. It won't earn you respect. It won't protect the ones you love. It won't build your name. It won't save you from regret. So if you're feeling lost, start there. Start by killing the soft version of yourself. Starve him. Punish him. Replace him with the man who feels pain and pushes harder. The one who shows up when no one else does. The one who trains while others sleep. The one who turns chaos into structure. That man survives. That man thrives. That man becomes legend. You think softness earns respect? It doesn't. It earns pity. It earns manipulation. It earns silence when you need backup. Because nobody bets on the man who folds. They watch how you move, how you speak, how you carry yourself when things go wrong. If you break, they label you. If you hesitate, they replace you. If you bow, they bury you. You've been told to be nice, to be sweet, to be liked. And now, you're invisible. Because softness doesn't make you memorable. It makes you forgettable. This world belongs to the focused, to the obsessed, to the disciplined. Not the ones who whine when life gets heavy. Not the ones who fold when pressure kicks in. Not the ones who live in the comfort zone and call it peace. You feel empty because you've been soft. Your hands don't work. Your mind's out of shape. Your spine bends under pressure. You can't protect anything because you can't even command yourself. And deep down, you know it. You know you're not who you're supposed to be. You feel it in your gut every time you choose ease. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow. Every time you lie to yourself about how hard you're trying. You don't need a therapist. You need a mirror. You need to look yourself dead in the eyes and say, this ends now. Because no man was born to be soft. He was conditioned to be. He was trained to sit still, play nice, shut up, and wait for life to reward him. But life doesn't reward the quiet. It rewards the loud, the relentless, the carved from fire beasts who never ask permission. You want to be that man? Then kill the softness. Replace it with structure. Replace it with reps. Replace it with action. Replace it with standards. Your problem isn't genetics. It's not where you're from. It's not who left you or what they said. It's the softness you refuse to admit you allowed. It's the comfort you protected. It's the discipline you abandoned. You want to be respected? Then suffer. Not once. Every day. Suffer on purpose. Suffer early. Suffer when your body begs to stop. Because that's where power lives. You don't build strength by taking the day off. You build it by doing the shit you hate. By getting up when you want to quit. By bleeding when nobody's watching. By holding the line when your hands shake. And you don't need motivation. You need war. War with the weak version of you that's been running the show. You've let him speak too long. Let him dictate your routines. Let him whisper lies while you rot. But not anymore. Not if you want to survive. Not if you want to build something that lasts. Because soft men get forgotten. And that's what's coming if you don't wake up. You think the world will slow down because you're overwhelmed. It won't. It keeps moving. And if you can't keep up, it leaves you behind. No one's handing out sympathy checks. No one's pausing success so you can catch your breath. They're stepping over you. Soft men ask for space. Hard men take ground. Soft men overthink every move. Hard men execute with precision. Soft men explain their emotions. Hard men weaponize their discipline. Soft men wait for someone to lead. Hard men lead themselves through chaos. You don't need a break. You need pressure. You need failure. You need to feel like quitting and then move anyway. That's how you separate the real from the rest. Because the real ones, they don't skip. They don't fold. They don't complain. They build. They suffer. They show up bloody and broken and still handle business. You say you want to be strong, then train like your life depends on it. Because it does. You say you want peace, then build a life so sharp it dares chaos to enter. You say you want to be respected, then speak less, work more, bleed more, and show the world that your actions are louder than their doubts. Soft men want shortcuts. Hard men master the long road. Soft men want results. Hard men crave the pain it takes to earn them. Soft men compare. Hard men compete. Soft men post. Hard men produce. And that's what kills you. Your softness makes you loud. Loud about how hard things are. Loud about how tired you are. Loud about how no one supports you. But real men don't need applause. They don't need recognition. They don't need likes or followers or pity. They need a goal, a mountain, a battlefield, something worth bleeding for. Because they know survival isn't given. It's earned through fire. It's earned through pain. It's earned through becoming the kind of man who doesn't flinch. You flinch too much. You hesitate. You question your worth because you've been too soft for too long. You've allowed weakness to grow roots in your life. You've let laziness become your identity. But it ends when you decide. When you say, no more. When you get sick of being weak. When you choose pain over comfort every single time. Not sometimes. Not when it's convenient. Every damn time. Because soft men don't survive this world. They fade, they fold, they fail, and nobody remembers them. You weren't made to live in fear. You weren't made to shrink when the pressure builds. You weren't made to ask permission to exist. But that's what you've been doing. You've been waiting for someone to validate your pain. Someone to tell you it's okay to stay broken. Someone to hold your hand through your own destruction. That someone is never coming. Because the world doesn't have time for softness. It doesn't stop for weak men. It swallows them whole. You think your story is different? You think your background makes you special? It doesn't. You bleed like everyone else. And if you don't build armor, you die like everyone else. Soft men don't protect. They collapse. Soft men don't lead. They follow anyone who gives them comfort. Soft men don't inspire. They beg for approval. Soft men don't survive. They get used, chewed up, and forgotten. You want to change that? Then make pain your mentor. Make discomfort your default. Make suffering your daily training ground. Because that's how you kill weakness. Not with books, not with affirmations. With sweat, with action, with blood on your hands and grit in your lungs. You want to feel powerful? Then earn your own respect. Not through words, through consistency, through reps, through hard choices every single day. Because power doesn't care about how bad you want it. It only responds to work. Work in silence. Work with no reward. Work when you're tired, sore, and doubting everything. And still, you show up. Soft men take days off from themselves. Hard men never clock out. Soft men wait for motivation. Hard men build momentum in darkness. Soft men quit when no one's watching. Hard men level up when the room is empty. The truth is this: you're either building armor or you're building excuses. You're either sharpening your sword or dulling your edge. You're either becoming the kind of man people follow or the kind they forget. There is no middle. There is no safety. Only survival. And survival doesn't bow to softness. You think strength is toxic? Tell that to the man who had to carry a family on his back. Tell that to the one who buried his past and built an empire. Tell that to the savage who walked through hell and never begged for peace. Strength isn't toxic. Softness is, because it spreads. It infects your circle. It waters down your standards. It weakens your bloodline. And it destroys every opportunity before it's born. So make a choice. Keep living soft, or harden the hell up and become the man they said you'd never be. You think toughness is an option, but toughness is survival. You think you'll get another chance, but life doesn't repeat the moment you miss. You think you can wait until you feel ready, but by then, the war has already passed you by. Softness whispers lies to you, tells you it's okay to rest when you haven't earned it, tells you it's okay to quit because you're not like them, tells you to stay comfortable and call it self-care. And you believed it. That's why you're stuck. That's why you're invisible. That's why nobody calls your name when it's time to move. Because they know what you still deny. That soft men fold under fire. That soft men break when tested. That soft men cry for rescue when others build their own escape. You want something real, then suffer on purpose. You want freedom? Then chain yourself to discomfort. You want to lead? Then be the first one to bleed. The strong don't avoid pain. They chase it because they know pain is the only path to growth, to clarity, to war-forged power. You're not tired. You're undisciplined. You're not broken. You're untested. You're not confused. You're just afraid to choose the hard way because the hard way demands sacrifice. It demands you kill your softness daily. It demands you walk into rooms where you don't belong and earn your place, not with words, with presence, with hunger, with scars. Soft men don't get tested because they never step up. They avoid responsibility. They outsource leadership. They settle for average and call it peace. But that peace rots them from the inside. Because it's not real. It's a cage. And when they finally wake up, it's too late. Don't let that be you. Don't be the man who wakes up at 40 realizing he wasted everything. Don't be the man who remembers who he could have been, but chose comfort instead. You want strength? Then destroy the boy who still runs your life, the one who flinches when things get hard, the one who makes excuses, the one who says maybe tomorrow. Bury him, then replace him with someone who's too sharp to negotiate with weakness, too focused to fall for comfort, too disciplined to ever go soft again. Because this world, it's not for the soft. It's not for the men who cry instead of confront. It's not for the ones who dream but don't do. It's for the killers, the workers, the silent machines who don't stop until they win. And if you're not that man, you better become him, or this life will crush you without mercy. You don't get remembered for playing it safe. You don't get respected for staying soft. You either build yourself into something untouchable, or get torn apart by this world. No one's stopping you but you. No one's keeping you weak but you. You can keep hiding behind comfort, or you can make the world feel your presence. Because at the end of it all, there are only two kinds of men, the ones who break and the ones who break through. Choose. If this hit your soul, it's because it was meant for you. Don't just watch. Wake up. Subscribe if you're done being soft. More brutal truth drops next. Stay sharp. Stay hungry. Dark Force out.